All right. We back. Listen, let's talk about it, man. What I got here? Well, if the color didn't give it away, and if you a Glock connoisseur like myself, then you'll know what this is. This is the Glock 19X non-MOS version. Let's make sure we clear her so we can talk about things. All right. I'm gonna put the mag back in just for aesthetics, and let's get it. I bought this gun for an everyday carry type situation. This was not something that I was looking to do too much to in terms of kind of jeopardizing the reliability. If you're watching this video, then you probably already know Glock 19X Gen. I guess these would be considered like a 4.5, somewhat of a 5. And it's essentially the same gun as a Glock 45 without the front lacerations and of course with this different color on it. And I've noticed a couple of other differences too, but I won't get too far into those. The other difference, one of them is this one comes with metal night sights. I'm not sure, they're Glock factory sights. So really, really good sights for, a Glock. Definitely an upgrade from your normal run-of-the-mill Glock sights. What else can we say about this? We did the chop beaver tail, of course. That's what we like to do. Sanded it down just a little bit to make that transition just a little bit smoother. And it makes a really good addition, at least for my hand. I don't need the extra thickness here, but I do enjoy having that beaver tail to get a high purchase on the actual firearm. So that's part of the reason why, I do go for the chop part. The Glock 19X, like I said, is the same thing as a Glock 45. You probably already know that. Without the front without the front serrations on the front and the color and the sights. So, not a whole lot to say about this as far as customizations from my standpoint. The only thing I did to this particular firearm, because like I said, this was going to be an everyday carry for me. And I just like the way the Glock 19X presents itself. It's a little bit different. It has a little bit of character and it has like a little bit of collectability to it, if you ask me, because it's one of the first times I've seen Glock go with or since I've been collecting Glocks, go with a full, I guess they call this coyote tan or something along those lines, but it's a really neat color. Kind of reminds you of like a gold or kind of a mix with a gold and a flat dark earth with a little bit more flavor to it, I was talking about customizability. Okay, so what I did with this one is, only thing I've done is I only done two things besides the beaver tail, and that is I put the extended slide release or slide stop on this one, and that's just because you wouldn't think that this little bump, it's not that much different than what comes on here factory, but it protrudes just enough to allow you to get just a little bit more leverage on top of it. And it definitely works well for most applications. And what kind of put me on to this one is I have another one that came with it, and I actually have another Glock that didn't come with it, but after I played around with one with it on there, I noticed actually it was my 10mm, I think. Yeah, the 10mm, the Glock 20. After I played around with it for a little bit, I actually started to liking having that, as an option. So I bought like a 5-pack of them or something like that, and I just ended up, putting them on all of them for the most part, just to get just some, consistency with the firearms that I use. But yeah, we did that, and also this was the first pistol that I put the Glock performance trigger in. Now, I will say this. because the reason why I wanted to put the factory, like a factory option in here, is because I didn't want to jeopardize, because this was going to be an everyday carry for me. I didn't want to jeopardize any reliability. But I ended up really, really being impressed with the Glock Performance trigger. And I could be alone in this, but I've seen other people that have had a similar experience. I was kind of surprised, at, the way that it performs. And I'll kind of show you here, like, how it does. Okay, so it comes, there's your take up right there, and it gets you a nice defined wall right there that requires some pressure. It's not something that you're just going to blow through, like, say, a very, very light, like Johnny Glock's trigger or something like that. But you notice it's there. You notice that the wall, oh, there it is right there. But it's not very heavy, though. And it kind of spoiled my surprise. But let's go back. Okay, so there's your reset right there. Like I said, the wall is right here. Kind of breaks at a 90-degree. And you pull through and boom. That's all you get. Now, it does drive backwards after, after engaging, after firing, and it drops back. But, if you have decent trigger control, you can kind of sit there and pop that thing all day like that and not let it go back to the end, because it will go all the way back, like right there. But it's got a nice positive reset to it. It's a really, really good trigger. I'm just going to be honest. For the price, something comparable to this, at least in my experience, would be like maybe a Timney, or something along those. I don't have a Timney, but I would imagine a Timney would be comparable to this. Now, this comes from Glock, you know what I mean? So you know what you're getting into in terms of reliability. But in looking at the packaging and the actual setup of the trigger housing and the trigger shoe and the trigger bar and the way that it connects, there's a certain amount of craftsmanship there that, you're not going to get with a whole bunch of aftermarket triggers, at least from a build standpoint. So for me, I just was trying something. This was going to be a everyday carry, like I said. And, for the most part, I wanted it to be really, really reliable. So, but I did want to upgrade the trigger, because I did not like the trigger that came in this particular firearm. But in getting this Glock trigger, I was so impressed. I purchased another one for another firearm that, had a decent trigger on it, but I just wanted to upgrade, because this is a good feel. And I'll show it to you again. Like, just there's your wall, then you pull through, and it breaks at like a 90-degree angle, and it's just really, really tactile with the reset, and it gives a nice, satisfying thump too. Like it's a very, very positive kind of, I hit that trigger. So, got nothing but good things to say about that. I'm still debating on whether I'm going to change the shoe out or not. I don't particularly hate, or dislike the shoe that comes with it. It's a lot better than what comes from the factory with it. It's flat. If you can kind of tell here, it's a lot flatter than, say, your regular Glock OEM trigger, where it has that little fall off of, and then where the blade doesn't set all the way back in. This one kind of runs flat, and it allows you to get, like, keeps it from, being too harsh on your finger. So, I don't know if I'm gonna change it out, to be real with you. I mean, I'm fine the way it is, unless something happens or it breaks or I get bored with it, because I hate ruining a good shoe. And I know when you do take these out, you do kind of, jeopardize the pin, and you have to kind of nail it out the other side, and the other side doesn't really exit for it. So it's like, you could do it if you want, but ain't nothing wrong with these. You know, these come with 19 round mags. There's a 17 plus 2 in here. That's what really makes me like them. That, the color, you know, and just the reliability factor. And like I said, it's got a little bit of, you know, kind of collectability to it from my standpoint. And maybe, you know, maybe I'm wrong, but one of the best looking, you know, flat dark earth tones that I think, you know, people are making. Them and FN probably have like the best looking flat dark earth color to me. But I mean, you know, it's Glock though, so I mean, you know what you're getting yourself into. You know what you're buying. You know, and the night sights are nice on it too. I mean, be real with you. There's some really good sights. They pick up really well and they glow really, really bright. You know, they glow real bright. So, you know, I'm a big proponent of not having like an optic on your carry gun because you're really not going to be in that tight situation. And, you know, I watch a lot of videos about stuff and I see people pulling out these big contraptions with an everyday carry situation. I'm like, you know, a lot of times if you're in a situation where you have to use it for self-defense or you have to use it to ward off any threat, then you're really gonna just be a point and shoot type thing. You're not gonna have a chance to kind of line it up like say in a controlled environment like the range. So I feel like, you know, you really don't need that. What you really need, in my opinion, on a carry gun is, you know, something that you're comfortable shooting, something that you're good at shooting, and that is large enough to where, you know, it can, you know, disable a potential threat, and that it's, you know, that it's reliable. You know, that's the two main factors is that you're comfortable shooting it, you got enough practice in on shooting that gun, and it does, you know, would serve you well if you do have to use it. And, you know, it goes bang when you do need it to go bang. So with this one, I wasn't gonna do a lot of, you know, aftermarket upgrades, you know, going through tungsten guide rods and doing all these different. Nah, I bought this one so I can so I can have self-control. I know if I don't have an optic cut on here, I won't put an optic on it, and it'll force me to get better with the iron sights on it and not be so reliant on dots for my carry gun. So yeah, that's my Glock 19X. Hey, it's still Glocktober to me. It's Glockvember, okay? And also, I appreciate all the new subscribers, man. Keep rocking with the boy. I'm going to definitely be turning up here soon. I've got more things to cover. Be dropping more videos. Just something like, just to kind of let you know what, you know, we've switched up in terms of everyday care. But yeah, that's all I got today. Glock 19X, very good firing weapon. I have not shot it yet with the Glock Performance trigger on it. I just got it this week. So I'm going to report back, might get some range footage, kind of show you the performance and how it kind of goes. But yeah, other than that, that's all I got today, man. Peace, y'all. Thanks for rocking with the boy. Thanks for subscribing. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your evening, man. Peace.